So a couple weeks ago, Bob did his presentation, and we went to lunch a couple days before, and he was like, I'm a little nervous, I don't know what's going to happen. And I said, listen, it's not that serious. So I talked to him last night, and I was I'm not going to sleep tonight, I'm so nervous. And he came up to me this morning and goes, Ryan, it's not that serious. So hopefully this works out, but I'm Ryan Handley from Buffalo Alarm. We do residential and commercial security, surveillance, fire, and access systems. I'm going to try and concentrate the majority of my speech today on security. As you can see, we're the trusted name in Buffalo security since 1978. What can Buffalo Alarm do for you? We have a residential and a commercial side. On the residential side, we do security systems, home surveillance, and automation. I'll get into each of those a little bit more as we go along. On the commercial side, we do fire alarm systems and fire inspections. We also do cameras, surveillance systems. We do access control, which I found that I never talked about because I went to see Denise this week, and she has a really nice access system. And I said, we should have done that for you. And she didn't know we did that. So, and 24-hour UL listed monitoring. What that means is our monitoring station will see, we have 24/7 monitoring of your system. It's UL listed, which insurance companies want to know. Otherwise, they won't give you that credit for having a system with your insurance. On the residential side, again, you have 24/7 monitoring for your home. We can do a hardwired system or a wireless system. The majority of residential systems go with wireless. It's just a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. We do run a little bit of wiring, but we usually put the devices right over the wires so you won't see any of that. A GSM radio or cellular monitoring, what that means to you guys simply is you can have a security system without a phone line. That allows communication between your system and our monitoring station without a phone line. The important thing with that is more people are going to that nowadays because, unfortunately, criminals will cut a phone line. If they do that, you no longer have a system. It doesn't send a trouble. It doesn't do anything. It's just you don't have one. Secondly, we live in Buffalo. The weather isn't always conducive to having our phone lines function. So that will allow you to, like I said, have a system without having a phone line. The other things we can put in to go with your system are smoke and heat detectors, CO2 detectors, sub pumps, and temperature sensors. On the commercial side, let's pull all these up. Like I said, you do have 24/7 monitoring. You'll have installation, service, and monitoring for security and for fire. Surveillance systems, why that's important is, I've talked about in the past, insurance purposes. If you have cameras on your property as a commercial owner and someone calls you and says they had an accident, my example was Anderson's. He gets calls all the time that somebody fell. Well, let me check the tape. When did you fall? And it's amazing. They forget and they hang up. So that's important for you to keep an eye on your employees, but also for your insurance purposes. Access control systems, and we do fire inspections even if we don't install your fire system. So if you have a system I've talked about in the past, we can take that over. I have a couple examples here of 3 people just in BNI and their savings. So I'm going to start with Matt at Buffalo Custom Jeweler. He was my first referral. They had Doyle. As you can see, they were paying $35 a month. With Buffalo Alarm, we took it over. They had to pay a couple bucks for some new equipment, but he's paying $16 a month. Over the course of that 4-year contract, you can see they were going to save almost $1,000. The next one, which is a little more impressive, is Frank's house. He had Vivint. They were paying $59 a month. So again, we were able to do it for $28, and he's saving almost $1,500 over the course of that contract. And then the last one is an ADT takeover, where they were paying $51 a month for that basic phone line that I mentioned. We went in there, took it over, and put in there the GSM, Analarm.com interactive services, which I'll touch on a little bit later. And she's saving about $800. That was a referral from someone in another chapter. That's why you don't recognize the name. New systems. We have 4 different types of packages, starting with your basic bronze package. That includes your panel keypad, 3 wireless door window contacts, a motion sensor, a battery, and a siren. That's your basic system. If you have a phone line, it's $18 a month. But talk to me because we're going to run some BNI specials with cheaper monitoring rate. The silver package It's the same types of devices, but that includes that GSM communicator, so you don't have to have a phone line. It's a basic, you don't have a phone line, we can put a system in. There's really no bells and whistles to that. Now the next one is your gold package, and we seem to be leaning towards this a little bit more now because it offers interactive services. There's an app for your smartphone. We hook you up with something on your computer so you can see, let's say you own a business, you can check when your employees are coming and going, cross-reference that with your time cards. Or you own a business and all of a sudden you see at 2 in the morning an employee was in a liquor store. He caught someone stealing because he got this in about a month ago, and that following week at 2 a.m. he got a notification on his phone that someone was at his store. It was one of his employees. So check the cameras. Needless to say, that employee no longer works there. So, and then the final package is a platinum package that offers those interactive services, but it also includes a camera. So as you can see, we can do anything from a phone line to a non-phone line, basic, interactive. There's so many different things that we can touch on, but we can get into that more during one-to-ones if you want. So Alarm.com, and what I want to talk about is the brand recognition of Alarm.com. You see on TV, ADT Pulse, Time Warner Intelligent Home, and AT&T Digital Life. Well, ADT Pulse was created by the person who runs Alarm.com. He's on our side. And Time Warner Intelligent Home and AT&T Digital Life, someone in this group will occasionally say during their commercial about a hammer and a nail, and sometimes you use them, and sometimes it's a good tool. CJ, can you tell me a little bit more about what that means?
Well, sure, Ryan. Inherently, tools are value neutral. So if you use a screwdriver to drive a nail through a piece of wood, it would not do a very good job. Doesn't mean necessarily that that tool is bad or tools in general are bad, but you just aren't aligning the right tool with the right job.
Thank you. The reason I'm bringing that up is because while Time Warner might be a great cable company or AT&T might be a great phone company, their secondary business is alarms, security. So let's try and focus on Buffalo Alarm, who actually does security as their primary focus. Thank you, CJ. Again, Buffalo Alarm and Alarm.com offers interactive security, video monitoring, energy management, and home automation. I'm going to pick it up because I don't have a lot of time. This is what you would see on your smartphone or on your desktop for those interactive services. You'd get the smash and crash, that's a push notification. You'd have thermostats, the video monitor of cameras, and then the home automation where you can set up lights, locks, garage doors, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to kind of go past this. I had a couple videos on here, but I only have 2 minutes, so I'm not going to show those. We also do cameras. The one on the left is an outdoor camera, the one on the right is an indoor camera. The bubbles you see around the lens, those are the infrared rays that allow you to see at night. So the important thing there is that even at night, you'll get a clear color picture of whoever it is you're trying to see. We also do fire protection. Just a quick, that's what the panel looks like, the keypads. We do those mostly in commercial places. For homes, we'll install smoke detectors that will link to your security system. Access, this is what we use, is a Honeywell Net Access. It's very user-friendly, but just want you to know that that's also available. Our monitoring service is 24/7. You know, we have highly trained, courteous people. This is what they look like. It really is what they look like. Reasons to choose Buffalo Alarm, just because I come here every week, that's the main reason. But we're members of a bunch of different associations. We're insured 24/7, 365 days a year. The one thing we provide that a lot of the big brand companies don't provide is a person. When you call Buffalo Alarm, you're going to get Alan, you're going to get Maura, you're going to get Santina. You're not going to get push this, you'll get to somebody eventually. Here's some of our partners, our current customers. As you can see, I mean, we have some big names on here. NOCO, Suburban Adult Services, the Salvation Army, we just got Goodwill. So we work with them in all those different facets that I talked about. We're not doing questions. So schedule a one-to-one today. That's my information. I'm at 9, 10 minutes exactly. Thank you.